Malala Yousafzai has changed girls' education by speaking to them all over the world and creating the Malala Fund so people can donate to help bring education to girls who don't have the luxury of receiving education where they're from. She stood up against the Taliban because of their strict rules for women. Malala Yousafzai was born on July 12, 1997 in Mingora, Pakistan. Her mother was a housewife and her father was the founder of the school she attended. Her father was an essential part of Malala's influence to support girls' education. Ziauddin Yousafzai is an advocate for education. He has stressed the importance of education for all his children, Malala in particular. Her father does not believe in the lack of education for young girls, and he believes that they should have the same right to education as boys. Malala's dad has always supported her decision to go against the Taliban's attempts to keep other girls along with Malala out of the school system. The Taliban's overall takeover started in 2007, but the Taliban's influence to ban girls from school started in 2008, when Malala was 10 years old. The Taliban banned girls from going to school because female education is contrary to Islam. In 2007, the Taliban took over the Swat Valley, an area in Pakistan where the Taliban gained successful control.
The number of people killed in a Taliban attack on a military base in Afghanistan has risen to 140. That makes it the deadliest strike yet by the terrorist group against the army since the US intervention began in 2001. These pictures reportedly show the vehicles used in the assault. The perpetrators, dressed in Afghan military uniforms, attacked the base during Friday prayers at a mosque. It's believed the assault lasted several hours.
The Taliban is known as an Islamic fundamentalist organization, and their leader is Muhammad Omar. The Taliban started to gain control in 2007 after Benazir Bhutto, a former prime minister of Pakistan, was assassinated after leaving a political rally 2 weeks before the election. Benazir Bhutto's death was linked to Taliban's radicals. When the Taliban took over, they banned things like owning a television, playing music, and created harsher punishments for citizens who didn't follow the rules.
Malala is the oldest of three. She has two younger brothers, Kashal and Atal. Malala gave her first speech in 2008 about the Taliban taking away her right to education in Pakistan. Malala started blogging about the threats she received from the Taliban for the BBC in 2009. She went under the name of Gul Makai to protect her identity. In 2011, Malala won Pakistan's first National Youth Peace Prize. Malala's increase in prominence caused the Taliban to take notice of her and target her. Malala and her family received multiple death threats from the Taliban. Malala and her family chose to ignore the death threats, suspecting the Taliban would not target such a young girl. Malala's father kept encouraging her to stand up for what she believes in and to continue fighting for girls' education. Unfortunately, that led to her getting shot by the Taliban on October 9, 2012. Malala was shot 3 times, in the head, shoulder, and neck, by 2 Taliban gunmen on her way to school when she was only 14 years old. A Taliban spokesperson confirmed that Malala was targeted and called her crusade for education rights an obscenity. The Taliban spokesperson said if she survived, that the militants would certainly try to kill her again. After the attack, Malala flew to Britain for medical treatment. Malala was in a coma for a week, and she underwent extensive brain surgery, receiving a metal plate on her skull and an implant to restore hearing in her left ear. Malala recovered, but was not expected to survive such a serious medical problem. To this day, part of her face still remains paralyzed.
Do you remember the feeling of being shot?
I don't remember that incident.
You don't remember it?
I remember just that last moment when I was talking to my friend and thinking about the next day. We had exams at that time, and my exam went very well on that day, and I was thinking of the next day exam, so I was quite happy that moment. And then suddenly waking up in Birmingham in a hospital, seeing doctors and nurses, and had no idea what had happened in between.
In October of 2013, she made the Malala Fund, a fund that gives girls the opportunity to receive education and spreads awareness about the rights girls should have to education. The website she created allows for people all around the world to donate money to help over 130 million girls. The Malala Fund focuses their work in places where girls are often denied secondary education. Pakistan, Afghanistan, India, Nigeria, and places holding Syrian refugees are all places where the Malala Fund is put to work. The Malala Fund's goal is to help all girls receive 12 full years of safe and fair education. The Malala Fund advocates for all girls being denied an education and shares the girls' stories in their own words. This is Sarah, a 15-year-old Syrian refugee who is a supporter of the Malala Fund. She says we are people who love knowledge and peace and self-improvement. In an interview with CBC News, she recalls being scared that her house and family would be attacked after she spoke up about the Taliban. She said it was a difficult time, but she had to stand up for what was important. She didn't regret standing up for what's right, and she felt stronger than before because she got to stand up for all the women in the world. Malala said it's very important for women to join hands and stand together for their equality. The interviewer asked how it felt to go back to Pakistan, and she said, "It was the happiest part of my life to go back to my home and to stand on the land again and to breathe air and to meet my friends and family." In December 2014, Malala won a Nobel Peace Prize, being the youngest girl to win one.
Is not just for me. It is for those forgotten children who want education. It is for those frightened children who want peace. It is for those voiceless children who want change. I'm here to stand up for their rights, to raise their voice. It is not time to pity them. It is not time to pity them. It is time to take action. So it becomes the last time. The last time. So it becomes the last time that we see a child deprived of education.
Currently, Malala is 20 years old and enrolled at Oxford University and studying philosophy, politics, and economics. Malala continues to fight for girls' education all over the world. She hopes to inspire girls to speak up for their right to have education.